Hey everyone, we are recapping the finale of Vanderpump Rules. I am here with my friend Stephanie. So we got the two
Hi.
steps, and we're gonna dive into this finale and get into this recap because there's a ton of information that we need to go over. And it's the last episode, it's the end of the season, and it's been a crazy season. So like just for like an overall of like the season, Steph, like what did you think about like this whole season?
I think this season you weren't really seeing that much of Jax and all his shenanigans, if that makes sense.
Right.
So like I think he definitely was a lot more tame, and so the show felt tamed as well. I don't condone his like wacky behavior at all, but you could tell like the show was built around him losing it and being a mess.
I have to agree. I feel the same way because I feel like I mean we'll get into it, but he does say like in this finale that this is his show and Lisa like has to like correct him. But I do feel like even though it's Alicia's show, they do center around Jax
Yeah.
and his drama because he brings the drama. If it's not Jax, then it's Stassi or Kristen. And I feel like those are the three OGs that really bring the most drama and the show like really surrounds like around them. And so, like you said, I feel like since Jax was tame this season, the show was tame and it kind of felt like meh. But and then he didn't like I guess he was so focused on his wedding that he once it was done, he's like, well, I got to do something. And so that's when he started the craft and got good again. But yeah, I feel like this season, I don't know, like the new people coming in, it kind of felt like it was two different shows and they kept trying to make it like one show and
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't sure if it worked. So I don't know what they're going to do next season, but they got to figure something out because from what I'm seeing, from what people are saying, a lot of people don't like the new people and a lot of people feel like the old people, the like OGs are too old. So it's like I don't I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Like I really don't know what they're going to do.
I I mean I think they definitely are trying to lay the groundwork for um a new series in the future. Like I think they're trying to do that in Sir or in
Mhm.
LA, but then also in Vegas
Yeah.
too. Like with the new
Sheena too.
the Sheena Square. Yeah. So
All right, so let's get into this episode. We start off at Sir. Dana and Brett are talking, and they're kind of going over like what happened the other night and to see if they're still cool. I feel like Dana is delusional. She was like, when she was talking in her confessional, she was very much like, I know that Brett likes me. He just was caught off guard and we're cool and blah, blah. But I was like, girl, he straight up told everyone and to your face, I don't have feelings for her. So I don't like, and then now to go back and be like, yeah, we're cool. I like being around you. It's confusing and I feel like Dana's being delusional about it, just like she was with Max, and she had to learn the hard way there. What do you think?
right. I think she's so willing to give uh the men on the show a pass for their bad behavior and not the women. Like she really needs to think about how the women have treated her and they haven't really been that bad to her. They've been mean, but she's slept with Max from what I could tell,
Mhm.
and he like kicked her to the curb, and then uh Brett basically told her in front of everyone, I don't like you like that after a date. And she's just like, it's okay. And I feel like she was willing to forgive Max even after that whole debacle.
Mhm.
And then she didn't because he crapped on her again, you know? So I don't know. I think she represents a lot of women in the country when you get caught up in the web of an F boy. It's
Mhm.
like Yeah, it's hard to like really unravel and get yourself out because you're always attracted to the what if, or maybe I could change them or fix them. And I
Exactly.
think that's
They're
her problem.
always trying to change them. You cannot change an F-boy. An F-boy is an F-boy for a reason.
Leave them alone.
Leave them alone. And I feel like she like, I don't know what it is. Hopefully she'll watch the season over and really see how they treated her and move on, because they're just not worth it. They're really
Yeah,
not.
no, I'm not.
So
I'm actually not a fan of them. And
no, at all. What
yeah,
did you hear about the racist tweets? Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So
I didn't know you were gonna talk about that, but yes.
yeah, let's talk about it. Well, that's why like no, that's why like at first like I didn't care about them anyways because they were new guys and they didn't really show. But I learned early on about their racist tweets and I was just like done. Like I don't care to hear anything else about them. So, but and then they just proved like all of us right because they're jerks and they were like horrible this season. Like I felt like they didn't bring any good qualities whatsoever. So
Especially Brett, he like the way he referred to Sheena as middle aged, and it's like you're like a few years younger than her. What does that make
exactly.
you?
What? And then like when he was trying to dog out Charlie and she was like no,
Yeah,
like read him for filth.
yeah,
She was not having any of it.
no, no. She said you are basura. Goodbye.
You and your flannel shirts.
Yeah, goodbye.
All right, so oh, so like they're like talking about like they're getting over their mess, and then Sheena pops up, and her and Dana start going inside. Sheena, I have a love-hate relationship with Sheena because I feel like Sheena she's kind of like the bone carrier for this show, and
Oh,
yeah, because you know with the housewives they always have like a bone
yeah,
carrier, a bone collector. I feel like Sheena
yeah.
is that for this show, but
Hmm.
the way she is going after Dana like relentlessly this whole season and sticking up for Max and Brett so hard,
Yeah,
it just put me off. Like so off.
yeah.
What did you think?
I think Sheena, because I feel like Sheena came into the show with controversy, and then I think she doesn't have that much airtime, and so I think she definitely like wants to be one of those characters and one of those people on the show that has as much airtime as like Katie and Schwartz.
Right.
Like she doesn't have that much airtime, and I think she just like wants to stay messy, even though she probably agrees with Dana about like how Max is garbage and how he needs to be left alone. I think she's just trying to just make herself seem like she's relevant.
Right.
But I don't like how the other women on the show treat her though. Like I've always had I've always kind of pitied her because they treat her like she's so dumb.
Yeah. And I feel like she's not. And I hope after she watches the season, like the same with Dana, I hope she like takes a good look at who her real friends are and reevaluate some things when it comes to Brett and Max. And did you hear about the shady editor or like there was like okay, so I think one of the producers or editors, it came out and this person admitted it that they didn't like Sheena and so they gave her a bad edit this season.
Oh.
And I was like, well, damn. Because and Sheena has been complaining about the edit she got this season, how it's just making her look boy crazy, and how like they haven't shown anything else about her life. She said she's done comedy as well, like Dana, and she's done other stuff. All they showed was like her being boy crazy. And so people were like, okay, Sheena. But then it came out that this producer or editor admitted that they gave her a bad edit because they didn't like her.
Has this person been editing the show
I think
years?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because I feel like that year that she was dating,
Oh my gosh.
oh, what's his name? How could I forget? Because she said his name so many times.
Rob, is it Rob?
Rob, oh goodness. Like those edits, whoever edited that didn't like her.
At all.
Every word out of her mouth was Rob,
Rob.
Rob, 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 Rob.
And then the one after that, what was like, he's my best friend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The editors have
I,
not.
it's probably that same editor from like the Rob season to now has just been like, I hate Sheena and this is all you're gonna get. But I'm glad it came out because I did feel bad for her. I agree with you. I don't like how they treat her. I feel like they've always bullied her. And I feel like they've only like used her as a friend when they're not getting along with the other girls.
Yeah.
And then when they get along with the other girls, they toss her aside again.
Right.
And so yeah, but I'm glad it came out, so maybe she'll have some vindication and people will know that she was treated bad.
Hopefully it was the same editor and not,
and they get fired.
If it's different, if they're different ones, then
yeah, then maybe it's Sheena and they just something about her they just don't like. Maybe it's something behind the scenes that we're not seeing, and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna give you a crappy edit this season.
They do the same to Kirsten, and I know Kirsten from the beginning of the show, like she's always been that person that you love to hate. For me, she's like, been my love to hate.
Kristen's a hot ass mess.
But I definitely felt for her this season because those Katie and Stassi treated her like she was like, you know, the redheaded stepchild or that cousin you don't like.
So now we're at, okay, so we move on from that scene. Now we're at Schwartz and Max are at Lisa's place. She's talking about like the photo shoot that's coming up. Then they tell her about the parties and how everything went. And then Max brings up the fact that he's mad at Dana. And Lisa's pretty much like, get over it. Yeah. Like, mate, you're just mad because she's moved on to your friend. And that scene was kind of a wash for me. But then we move on to Tom and Ariana getting facials. Like, why am I not? Of course, he tagged along to get a facial.
Yeah.
And so then Tom and Ariana talk about like the party, and then she brings up the fact that Kristen told her that Sheena said that Stassi was talking mess about their house. And from when I did the last episode, I was like, I don't remember Stassi ever saying that. I remember Lauren from Utah saying that, but I don't remember Stassi saying that. And we know now that there was nothing, like Stassi didn't say anything behind the scenes. It was all Lauren from Utah, and Sheena just got it wrong on accident or on purpose. Mm-hmm. But like Ariana's like, she doesn't know yet, and she's pissed about it. And I felt like she had every right to be, even though we know she's mad at the wrong person. But I would be sticking right to my house and trashing my house.
Right. But did you hear what Ariana said about Stassi?
Stassi bad credit Schroeder.
And I was like, oh, what's the tea? Let me know. Right? Find out. I was like, wow.
Like, get into this. Let us know about this bad credit.
Because in this episode, not to jump ahead, but like she's looking at a house and Bo was, I don't have the coins for this man.
And I guess Stassi's bad credit has the coins.
How are you talking about people's houses when you don't have the money?
You don't even have a house.
Yeah.
I mean, she has one now, but at the time you didn't even have a house. So how can you talk about somebody else's house?
Right.
And then I've seen like on a separate interview, Ariana and Tom were saying that they knew all season that they were getting their furniture custom made to go into the house, which is why they didn't have their furniture yet. So they feel like it was shady of them to be talking about the furniture season when they knew that they were getting their furniture custom made. And I was like, that's messed up. Like, that's when you know, like, these are not your friends, these are just your coworkers.
Right.
Because
And they
your
kept
friends wouldn't
bringing it
do
up.
that. Yeah, over and
Right.
over.
Yeah.
Like, your friends wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So I
No,
was
they
like,
just wanted to shame them because they probably really like their house, because it looks like their house is probably the nicest out of all of the other houses. It's definitely a lot more modern and has a pool and looks pretty good. And I feel like they're like, well, you know what? But they don't have furniture.
yeah, and that's like the only thing they can say is you don't have
Yeah.
furniture. And it's like, okay, and then okay, like Lauren from Utah, like you got your, we know how you got your house. So don't even talk about anybody's house. Like, I can't. I used to like her the first season. I'd say maybe her first 2 seasons, I liked her.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave her the respect of calling her Lala. But now, like, ever since she got her a sugar daddy and it feels above everybody else because somebody else is paying her bills and flying her friends around in a private jet, she has become Lauren from Utah. She's a horrible person. I just don't like her anymore.
Yeah, I think I still have mixed feelings about her. Sometimes I like her and sometimes I don't. Like, I like when she talks about being sober. Yeah. I like her personality whenever she's being vulnerable like that. But when she feels like she's being wronged, she just becomes so vicious. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like she flips a switch and she goes from nice to despicable in a matter of seconds. Like how she treated Raquel.
Yeah, it was so unnecessary.
At the house a few episodes back. You know, whose house was that? Katie's? Or was it?
Yeah, that was Katie's because they were doing the girls' night thing.
And she told her, know your place. Yeah. And I'm like, how old are you? You are not an elder to her.
And you're not anybody to be telling someone to know their place. Like,
yeah.
That's why I feel like if she didn't have Randall and his money, she would not be acting this way. Like, know your place.
Right.
Like, I feel like that's an entitlement thing because she has money now and she feels like she can talk to people that way.
What's his name talks to people like that too, and maybe you could put her in the same category with him. Jax. Oh my
gosh. Well, see, and they like, but when she got on the show, they were like flirting, and I feel like they are very similar. But the fact that like he dogged her out and talked so much trash about her, I'm like, how can you even be friends with him now and stick up for him over Tom and Ariana when they were your friends? When nobody wanted to be your friend.
Right.
That's what I don't get. I feel like she's a backstabber.
Yeah, you have to be careful with her. Like, I realize that, like, she's definitely not the same trustworthy person that she used to present on TV before.
Exactly.
Maybe she's always been this way, but.
And I feel like, and that's what, when people say like money doesn't change you, it just makes you more of who you are.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's probably it. You're right. She probably was always like this nasty person. And now that she has money, she feels like, oh, I can really be who I want to be. And nobody can stop me now because I have money. And they all want to fly on my private jet. So that's why like they're friends with me now.
Yeah. But I mean, her worth is tied up in that man. And if something happens to him and he wakes up tomorrow and is like, I don't want to be with you, what is she going to do?
Exactly.
Like, are you going to run to Jax's house? And it's not Randall's house.
Exactly.
So he ain't got no PJ. So what are you gonna do?
So now we're at her house. Well, her and Randall's house. And the girls come over, Brittany and Stassi and Katie. And about the awkward moment and stuff. They bring up Kristen first. They talk about that. And now they're getting into like the Brittany and Katie thing. And I'm sorry, but I don't like Katie. I do not. I have tried hard to be a Katie fan. I don't like her. but this episode and last episode, I've been on her side, and I feel like Brittany's changed. She used to be like this nice, sweet girl, and I feel like Jax has changed her. Or maybe like we said, she was always this way, and she got some fame, and now she feel like she can talk to anybody how she wants to. But I feel like she takes no responsibility for her horrible husband. It's always everybody else's fault.
Yeah. I
But
think she's also overwhelmed with Jax. Like, imagine having to live with him, and I'm sure he's not. I think he's the way he is on TV, and I mean, I'm sorry if that's not true, but I think he is a handful. Like, I'm sure he's overtly analytical, like really, really rude and mean. It's a lot to live with.
But she chose him.
Yeah, she did.
She knew who he was, and especially after he cheated on her.
Yep.
She knew who he was, and she still chose that. And I don't understand why. And I agree with you. I feel like he's like this off camera too, because every time anybody brings up Jax, they always say he's always been this way. He's always done this. He always. So that means like this person, like you guys know who he is.
Yeah.
And he's I'm sure he's like this off camera, because they always say he's always been this way. And some of them have known him way before the show. So I'm like, if he's always this way, like I don't know why Brittany thought she was going to be able to change him.
I don't like how she's changed or how she's acting now, because I feel like she's just becoming his mouthpiece in the circle with the women, because they weren't acting like that. She wasn't acting like that with them, and it's like now she wants to go toe to toe with Katie, and it's like,
I mean, Katie had a lot of restraint. I think Katie really cares for Brittany, and that's why she's not going off on her the way she could. But I feel like Katie could easily rip her apart in like a few seconds, and especially after the fact when Brittany was like, well, he's my husband, y'all need to respect him. No. It doesn't work like that. Like, we're friends, but like if your husband's treating me like trash, I'm not gonna respect him just because he's your husband.
Right.
You know what I mean? And no.
Well, his friends in Kentucky, like you saw that spin-off series.
No, I didn't. I couldn't.
Because her friends in Kentucky ain't like him. And so, like, especially the one that was the bridesmaid, I think was the maid of honor, I can't remember. She definitely don't like Jax. So why, like, and she doesn't even have to be around Jax as often. Why would you put all that burden on people that have to work with Jax, that are surrounded by him constantly, that are on a show with him, and force them to like him and respect him? No, he has to earn respect.
Exactly.
He's done nothing to do that
at all. So I mean, Katie's better than me. I would have been like, nah. So James his mom comes to his place. I mean, I don't want to go too much in the scene, but I don't know. I've always had like a soft spot for James. Like, he's a hot mess and he's not a great person, but I've loved his confessionals. Even when he was like a drunken mess and shading everybody, I loved it because it gave good TV. I did. I'm sorry. I loved it. But I'm glad that he's sober, and I'm glad that he's changing his life. How do you feel?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like when he was problematic and like fat shaming people. And I mean,
she came after him first. And I feel like people forget. But he was wrong.
Yeah, he should have came back with a better joke. He's funny. I will always refer to Jax as Old Man Jax because of him, and I think it's so funny, and it gets to the point, and I know it gets on Jax's nerves when he
every time. He gets him every time. The funniest moment for me is when Stassi came back for her season, for her apology tour season. And she tried to come at James in the reunion, and he was like, "Oh, please, Stassi, you came crawling back." And he got on the ground and he was like, "Please, please." Everybody laughed. Jax laughed. Everybody laughed. He's funny. I'm sorry. He's funny.
He's got great one-liners.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for him right now with his mom, because that definitely is a lot to deal with, and it could trigger a relapse.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he sticks to sobriety, and I hope his mom's doing better.
Yeah, but I'm glad he's sober, and now we're like house hunting with Stassi and Bo. Bad credit Stassi. Stassi, bad credit Schroeder and Bo. They're looking for a house. Stassi has to put up the down payment because Bo can't afford it, which is why I don't trust Bo. And I liked him when he first got on the show. It did throw me off that he was getting confessionals like super early into their relationship. And I think I've been tainted by what some other reviews have said, but they said that he's an opportunist. And if you look him up, he's the same age as Jax. Like, he's 40, and he's on this show now, and I think he's like a casting director. His career has not been that great, but now he's on this reality show with this girl, and all of a sudden he's getting all this attention. He has fame now. He's gonna move into the house. I feel like funny to say in his confessionals, he's always like playing up the camera and stuff. So I felt like, yeah, I don't trust Bo. I don't know, but
I don't know his backstory. I do like that he was open about not having the money to put a down payment, which kind of makes me think of him as like probably like the voice of reason that Stassi probably needs, because
he definitely balances her out.
Yeah, yes, and I think she's definitely a lot more. She's definitely calmed down a lot, because she used to be so annoying, and yeah, I think he definitely is what she needs right now. I don't know what will happen in the future with them, but I gotta look into his backstory. I didn't know about that stuff about him.
I was like, okay, I can see it. I feel like he's an opportunist, like Brittany's an opportunist. You know what I mean? Because why else would she put up with this horrible man unless she wanted to be on the show and have fame? Because that's what she has now, and that's what he has now. And I don't always trust these people who come into these relationships and are on camera immediately and just blend right in. It feels kind of weird to me. And so I feel like I won't shade him too much, because I feel like him and Brittany are the same to me, because they put up with this horrible behavior, and why? And so like I see them, but it's okay, because I mean, like, even if he is an opportunist, I don't care, because Stassi in her racist ways as well, I don't like her either, and I still haven't forgiven her. So I feel like if he does hijack and leave, I won't feel bad. But I was happy for her when she got engaged. I just love watching people get engaged, and I felt like that was a really nice moment. So I will give her that.
Yeah, it was sweet. Yeah, but I gotta look into Bo now. I didn't know.
Yeah, I was like, wait, he's the same age as Jax? I was like, wait a minute. And you're dealing with this young, well, not young, but younger, and she's on this hit reality show. I don't introduce them, but still, like, why wasn't he, like, because he dated Kristen, why didn't he come on the show then?
He dated her?
Yeah, like I think they went out on a date, but I know they like went out on a date before, and so that's how she knew him.
Okay.
And then they became friends, and then Kristen introduced him to Stephanie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird, messy thing.
Yeah.
So okay, so they're at Tom like Tom Tom's expanding. I'm excited for them.
Mhm.
They're like gonna make some big money. I don't know about now because of the situation that we're in, but I did hear that it was open before all of this mess,
Mhm.
and so hopefully it did well and it can come back from this. But we'll see.
They better be delivering through Postmates and
Right?
Seamless.
Figure out something.
You ain't
If not,
surviving.
investment is going down the drain.
Yeah.
Hope they figure something out because that would really suck.
Do you feel like I was watching it again today and I was thinking like how Lisa, it was nice that she gave them this opportunity to invest. But do you think she would do the same for the women on the show?
Hmm.
Because I I think watching it again, I was just like, wow, she's giving them so many passes.
Yeah.
And, they had a check that bounced. And there are a lot of reasons for that, but that's usually a red flag.
Yeah.
And they have done well with Tom Tom, but then to give them another opportunity, like, what about some of the women on the show?
I feel like if the women came up with something
Mm-hmm.
that would benefit Lisa, then she would invest. Because
Okay.
I mean, she used to have Stassi. I think like Stassi worked with Pandora for a while on this,
Okay.
and I feel like, and then even Stassi was thinking about becoming like a set designer or something for Lisa for like a little bit. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like if she had really a stylist, that's what she was doing. She was being a stylist for Lisa. She was kind of interning for her. Um, but I do agree with you. I don't see Lisa presenting those opportunities for the other girls
Mm-hmm.
on the show, but I feel like maybe if they asked her and there was like a way for her to benefit from it, then maybe she would.
Mm. Yeah.
Maybe.
Because they're making money and I don't know where that is in LA. I live in New York, so I'm sure it's on a main street.
Yeah, I passed by, was it Pump or was it Sir? I think it was Sir. I've driven by Sir before, and
Mm.
it's kind of like right off a main street.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
And
sure they
people,
get plenty of traffic coming.
right. And people go there to experience the place because they've seen it on TV.
Right.
So they're on a main street. They have all this publicity on TV.
Yep.
People are wanting to go. So she's making money with these restaurants. And I feel like these men, Tom and Tom, they're great, but I feel like anybody could do what they do.
I think so, and I think it's just the play off of their like friendship.
Yeah.
I think they're so close, and it's like they're like this kooky duo,
Uh-huh.
and I think it's because their friendship has lasted so long with not many hiccups. The girls, however, like if they try to do a group thing, look what happened with
Right.
the WeHo thing.
We're donezo.
It's done so. Yeah,
Like,
let's get into the photo shoot because we're at the photo shoot, everybody's there, and then Ariana, can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay, Ariana is trying to talk to Jax. Like, why? What was the point?
Because she had to set him straight. Jax, I think people talk behind Jax's back. Like
Mhm.
and I'm not saying, oh, he's this big figure that people are afraid to confront, but they never set him straight. And I feel like Ariana just had it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like he's not going to listen to you because he's already set in his way, but she had to tell him off because he was being really nasty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like she probably felt like she had to, because it's like enough is enough. But I mean, it's Jax. He's not gonna listen. He's still like, even the show is done, he's still talking trash about Tom and Ariana. So like,
Yeah.
never gonna change. But maybe she just had to do it for herself to like tell him like enough.
He's a troll. You could tell he definitely just is one of those individuals that just will be nice to your face, but then talk loads of crap.
Like loads of crap. And I think he does this to Ariana because he knows that she's never liked him and she's never bought into his BS. Like she's never like cut him any slack. She's never like, mm-mm. She's always been like, I know who you are and I don't trust you. And I feel like because she sees him, he does everything he can to like stay away from her and just talk trash about her. Like
He's so inappropriate. Like when he brought up her sexuality and he's like, pick a sexuality. Why? Who are you to tell somebody who to be and how to act? This is why I feel like sometimes with Lisa, it's like you see Jax for who he is and you're still giving him all of these like free passes because that's something that's really inappropriate. And she's you saw how she reacted to the pastor that they had, right? So it's like what he just said was homophobic. So,
and she never calls him out on that.
Yeah, he needs to be called out on that because that was so rude.
And then like he bashed her depression, but now all of a sudden he's having a mental breakdown. So it's not okay for other people to have depression, but you want sympathy for what you're dealing with. He's trash. He's so trash.
He's manipulative and he knows how to get sympathy and empathy from people, and that makes him so dangerous.
Yes, very manipulative, and you have to like be so careful around those type of people, let alone marry them, like
share your bed
and then your potential womb. I'm like, really, Brittany? Like, this is what you want for the rest of your life? She's crazy. She's crazy. So we transition over to the party. Sheena squared is talking, trying to talk to Max, and he's like, no, God, help me.
Did you see Jax in the corner? He's like, watch this, watch this.
He couldn't get over it. Sheena part 2. Sheena's loving it. Yeah. Max is terrified. He wants to run away. And then now we finally get Stassi and Ariana. They finally sit down and get the truth. She believes Stassi because Sheena, I feel like either Sheena like really just was oblivious about who said it, or she did that because she doesn't like Stassi.
Probably.
Because I'm like, you were looking straight at Lala when she said it. How did you get Stassi from that conversation?
But I think it goes back to what you said about her being a bone collector, someone who stirs the pot.
But she brought the wrong collection. She brought the wrong bones.
I don't even want to condone or pardon her mistake. But sometimes I feel like she's not aware of what she's doing or what she's saying. But that's not to excuse her. She got that wrong.
Yeah, way wrong.
Yeah.
Like the shady editors of Bravo were like, actually, this is not Stassi. It was Lauren from Utah. Get it right. And so they're talking, trying to squash it. And then Sheena Squared pops up, all like in her drunken mess. And I loved that Stassi was immediately like, no. No.
Yes, Stassi definitely does not like Sheena.
No, she doesn't. I feel like she's trying to force herself to for like the good of the group, but like we all know, she doesn't like her. She's never liked her, and I don't think she ever will. She just tolerates her.
Yeah, she does not like her. And I think the idea of having a second Sheena just made her vomit in her mouth. What's messed up though is how Ariana was so willing to just uh, believe that Stassi wasn't in the wrong. So, and like, I feel like if my friend tells me, hey, this person has been talking about you, and then you find out from the person that they said, oh, I didn't do it, like, wouldn't you be more willing to believe your friend and not the person that told you, even though Sheena was wrong?
Right. I feel like Ariana's her justifying it was that like Stassi usually doesn't hide from what she says. She
That's right.
So she would probably be like, yeah, and then maybe and then like sorry or something like that. So I feel like Stassi would own up to it if she said it and would have like probably like apologized her way out of it. But I feel like Ariana was probably right when she said like Stassi wouldn't like deny it. She would
deny. I think, sorry for the sirens. I think
it's New York.
I think Stassi's afraid of Ariana.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
they've gone toe to toe, and Ariana slices and dices her each and every time.
She reads her.
Yeah, she does. And I mean, I like that. I glad they squashed it, but now like Danica with her hot mess self, she's trying to get rid of Cara. It doesn't work. They get into it. She ends up looking like a fool because she's trying to fight this girl, and she was just like Cara was just like smiling.
And she's crying in the restaurant. It's like
crying and screaming.
Get it together. You about to be fired.
Right. Because Lisa's watching all of this.
Yeah.
And then she like tries to lie and say like I didn't push her. And then of course Lauren from Utah comes over. She's like, you pushed her because you spilled your drink on me. And so like Lisa's like, go home.
She's gonna be fired. She was suspended at the beginning of the season.
Exactly. Like how many chances? Like girls don't get chances like the guys do. They just don't. Kristen didn't get the same amount of chances like Jax did.
No.
I don't know what makes Danica think that she's gonna get all these chances.
No. She probably thinks, oh, Lisa will never do that. And it's like, you need to watch the previous seasons and see how all these women have been let out.
Like fired, gone. Kristen was dropped like hotcakes and like gone.
Yeah. And Lisa's still tight about that.
Still. Kristen. But she did soften a little bit and told Bo to invite her to the engagement party. So she did soften a little bit. I think she likes holding grudges like Lisa does, but I feel like she did realize like this is a very long friendship. You don't want to like not have her there because look what happened when Stassi wasn't at Katie's engagement party. You know what I mean? Those are like memories you can't get back.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's why like, okay, let's get into the the witches and WeHo conversation because okay, I get why they're mad because when you're trying to help your friend and she won't listen to you but she keeps running to you for advice, but then she goes to other people to complain about you. Mm-hmm. I understand that. And especially like when they show the text of Kristen like saying these horrible things about them, but then she comes and she's like, I don't understand what went wrong. I'm like, Kristen, like, if you want to be their friend, you can't send them texts about how horrible they are. So I feel like she went about it the wrong way. I'm on Kristen's side, but I feel like she really went about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
And she could have handled it so much better.
I think she talks, like, probably complains about them to Carter, and he's definitely been her sounding board.
Right.
And he doesn't like them. No. So he's going to make sure that she doesn't like them. So I think a lot of that comes from him, too. Like, he's definitely problematic because they don't like him.
No.
So
Nobody does.
They're over each other.
Yes. And I feel like I feel like she went about it the wrong way, because I do feel like Stassi and Katie were really harsh with Kristen, especially Stassi. There's been people that have said that Kristen should take the high road because she slept with Jax.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I get that, but they moved on from that. And then Kristen was also the one that brought Stassi back into the group when no one wanted to be her friend. Like, no one wanted to be Stassi's friend. Kristen was the only one who let her back in, let her stay at her place, be her friend again, introduced her to Beau, and then Stassi was like, I don't need you anymore. And I feel like if Kristen has to always take the high road because of her sleeping with Jax, then Jax should always take the high road with Tom because he slept with Kristen.
Yeah.
Like, everybody lets him off. Just like we were saying, like, the guys always get a pass and the girls are doomed, like, to be banished forever.
Yeah. I mean, I think Stassi should be forever grateful for Kristen because she ended pretty much her relationship with Jax and never had to get married to him. Imagine.
Oh my gosh.
That would have been done in like 72 hours.
Nightmare.
She did you a favor.
She did. She really did. And she got you someone better.
Yeah. No, I don't like how they treat her. They kick her to the curb. They treat her like she's got like lice or leprosy. They're so mean to her.
Yeah, they really are. They are. I feel like they're wrong, but I also feel like Kristen doesn't help the situation by how she responds.
Yeah.
Steph, help her out. Like, she's too defensive and combative. And I'm like, you can't be defensive and combative if you want to be their friend.
Yeah.
If you're done with this relationship, then completely be like, I don't need you anyways. You're a mess. I don't like you. Fine. But if you want to be their friend, you can't say that stuff.
Yeah.
That's like
somebody, it could be one of them. They need to start some sort of app where if they feel like they need to rage text, they send the text to the app and there's a 24-hour wait period. That's what they need.
And then it can just rage text away.
Yeah.
But it never gets to that person.
Yeah. They need to not send text in real time.
No.
Because
ever.
That's the common denominator. Tom Sandoval, Kristen, Tequila Katie, Old Man Jax, they all need this app.
Tom, and I was disappointed because Tom has never done this before. And I'm like, it was like, why, Tom? Like, why?
I do think there's some truth to like what some of the others were saying about him and Ariana coming across as arrogant or being arrogant. Like, I definitely think that that's that ear to them because they definitely hold themselves to a higher standard, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm sure whoever's editing probably likes them.
Probably
cuts out a lot of the stuff that would make people think on the show, or people who are around them think, oh, they're arrogant, because you can tell that there's a tinge of, hey, I'm better than you.
Well, I mean, they don't, like, they have a lot of fans, but they also don't have like a lot of fans. A lot of people call them arrogant, say they're stuck up, don't like them. So I feel like people see it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I feel like people definitely see it. They don't. There's a lot of people that are like on the little Vanderpump Facebook page that like rip them to shreds. So people definitely see it. It's just that, like, I give them a pass though, just because of like who they're with. But I did not give Tom a pass on that situation. I wish he didn't do it because he gave them ammunition to like say all these horrible things about him when he could have just been chill the whole season. You know what I mean?
Right. Like him and Max, I think they're so similar. The only difference is Max is not a co-owner of Tom Tom. He's just a manager. But Max has that same air, like, oh, you know, I work at Tom Tom and that's my restaurant, and I'm working with Lisa and I'm hiring people. Like, he thinks he's the stuff and he's not. Right. And I think Tom, he's actually a co-owner with Lisa, but you only have 10%.
Right. So like chill. Pump your brakes.
Calm down. You're just a step above Max.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a little more than that. He actually has money from, you know what I mean?
Right. But it's not on the same level as Lisa. And like Lisa isn't walking around telling them, hey, you can't talk. Like when she cuts Jax at the knees, she's not saying, hey, shut up, I own all these businesses. Like, she's not throwing that in his face.
No, she doesn't correct him though. Like, this is my show. This is not your show. Yes. Like, you need to calm down.
Yeah, true. But I definitely think that Tom, he's still like has this air about him where he thinks he's better than people. So
yeah. And
I've picked up on that, and it's probably, I like him. Him and Ariana are my favorite couple on the show, but it's probably why I'm not really thrilled with them all the time.
Yeah. I mean, they do make it hard, like, because they're my favorite as well. Like, they're the only two that I really can stand most of the time. But they make it hard sometimes to be on their side. Because they, like you said, there's this air about them. And I just wish they would be chill.
Yeah.
They're probably just sick and tired of dealing with the nonsense. And that's probably why they got their nose up at everybody. But I'm like, you are on the show, so just chill out, like chill more. I feel like Ariana last season, she was a lot more chill and she was a lot more fun, and we got to see like drunk Ariana, and she was a lot more fun. And I just wish she would bring that out more, but maybe it's hard for her because she is battling with depression and stuff, and it's just a struggle to be around people who say nasty things behind your back all the time.
Yeah. I think also moving into a new community. So before they were living in that apartment, and I'm sure people were ragging on that, and the air conditioning unit in the window, like I never forgot.
With the microwave, it came
in my brain. Yes. And I feel like when you move into a new place, you want to keep up with appearances, and that's a lot of stress and pressure, but then that also blows up your head.
Yeah. I hope they go back to being more chill. If they come, I'm sure they'll come back next season, but if there is another season, I hope they go back to being chill. I hope that Ariana gets help and, stays in therapy, and like her and Tom can work through, I don't know, work through the fact that they have to work with these people, and they need to like calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I think they should go back to the apartment.
Huh?
You think they should move back into the apartment?
No, never.
I humble them.
Never. But and then Jax and Tom talk, and I'm glad they had this talk, and I'm glad Tom was just like, I am setting boundaries, because I don't even know why Tom would ever want to be his friend in the first place, especially after like the Kristen thing. Like, I don't know if I would have ever forgiven him for that, and he hasn't changed since. He's just stayed meddling into their relationships. He puts them down to their face, behind their back. I feel like Tom could be fine with never being friends with Jax again.
Yeah, I mean, Jax has dogged him. Like, he slept with his girlfriend twice, I think.
Yeah, twice.
And then Who punched who? I can't remember.
Tom punched Jax.
Tom
Because
punched.
Jax was being so snotty
Yeah.
about it, he would
Yeah.
not, no remorse.
Right. And then the way that he treated Tom at the beginning of this season and talking about him and his girlfriend, and I don't think there's really any coming back for Jax after this season, because I think Tom, like, definitely walking away just was like, I can't deal with this. And I think when they watch the show at the end of the season and they come back for the reunion, I think they're able to say, hey, this is what bothered me, and really process everything that went on, especially in the confessionals. Because Jax, he's so raw in the confessionals. He's unhinged.
Ugh. I would never be friends with him again. I don't know why people want to, but they are. Maybe because they like Britney. That's fine. But I would never be friends with him again. And I feel like it would be fine. They can be on the show and be cordial, but I would not be friends with him.
You can't tell him anything. Why would you do that? Why would you be friends with him?
Mm-hmm.
He can't be trusted.
But Lisa tries to talk some sense into him. It doesn't work. And then they just drift away for the end of the season. So, we forgot to talk about no, see what you're gonna say about Lisa?
I was saying she enables him.
She does.
A lot of the time. And I think part of the reason why James started to do better and improve on his health is him kind of walking away from Lisa, and he definitely got wrapped up with Raquel, but he had to really come to his own conclusions about being sober,
right?
Because he wasn't going to do that under the wing of Lisa.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going back to Lisa now to work with her, but he wasn't going to be sober if he was still being welcomed by her. And I think,
and I feel like she gave him tough love, and like finally worked.
Yeah, and he had to leave her because she definitely enables.
Well, she cut him off, though. She cut him off. She gave him tough love, and I feel like Raquel giving him tough love too. It was just like, do you want to lose everyone around you? Because she was like, I'm about to be gone, and that's what he needed. People don't do that with Jax, though.
No. Jax is so destructive, and he's going to destroy Brittany's life if she doesn't get to it, because he's so toxic.
Yeah, he is. Well, we get James apologizing to Randall. I thought I was like shocked, and I'm not like a fan of Randall, but him accepting James' apology I thought was really nice, and he was really nice to him, especially after all the horrible things that James has said about him. So what do you think about that?
I thought that was nice of James. I definitely think that if I were Randall, I would probably just keep him at arm's length, and I would definitely be side-eyeing his time, or the time that Lala is spending with him, because their friendship is so
weird,
confusing. Yeah. And I can't really put my finger on it, but there's something there, and I would be very, very cautious of him and wary of the time that Lala's spending with James.
Yep. But I mean, they made up, and this is the end of the season finale. I'm curious about like the reunion, because I mean, we were all scared about these Zoom reunions, but Atlanta Housewives turned out really well. So hopefully this is the same, but we'll see.
Yeah. I'm curious. I hope that Jax gets the help that he needs. It seems like he needs help. I mean, he's been going through a lot. I think it's a lot to like lose a parent and then buy a house, then get married. Like the whole wedding, he was complaining about the cost, the money. So this might just be all of the effects of having all of that happen all in the same year.
Maybe. I hope that's all it is because I mean, like they've said, he's always been this way though.
That's
And
true. That's true. He's toxic. He's toxic. There's no denying that. But I think he needs to like realize how he has to pump the brakes
oh,
on certain things.
definitely. I hope we know Tom is gonna get called out for his mess. I hope Jax gets equally called out, if not more, because he's always been way worse than Tom. I don't care what anybody says. And Jax needs to be called out in this reunion. He needs to. And I hope that we get some resolution with everyone.
Right.
All right, so that is it for the season finale for Vanderpump Rules. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank Stephanie so much for joining me.
Thank you.
It was fun. It's fun when you don't have to do it by yourself. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell if you want to be notified when more videos come out. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.
Bye.